My little hair right here. I need some gel.
Okay. Okay, we're live.
I need some gel. Look at this little hair. Hey! Guys. Gosh, this was the hardest thing to ever do in my life. Can you shut the garage door for me also? Something's in the way. Don't know what's in the way. Hey guys! Woo! We are late as hell. But we got it working. The live is up. I should probably tweet that the live is up. Yeah, that's just better for me to work with this light. Okay, let me tweet. Live on YouTube, guys. You guys don't understand. Every device in the house is hating right now. Like, they're not fucking with me. Can I say fucking on live YouTube live? Live on YouTube. Finally, let's go. Woo! Finally, let's go. Okay. Wow, these comments are moving so fast. How am I supposed to answer anything? Do you see this? Whoa. Okay, so maybe I should hang out because, whoa, this is actually giving me anxiety a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see how fast these comments are moving. Do you see this?
Yeah, that's crazy. You want me to use something?
Yeah, is someone can they like is someone from YouTube watching? Can they send me some
of the things so you can read them?
Yeah. Do you see this? How am I supposed to do this? This is insane. Can I hide these?
Yeah, let's see.
Whoa, this is crazy.
Or no, just do this. Let me see. Sorry, guys.
Can y'all see this? Whoa. Maybe you guys should ask me questions on Twitter. You know what? Let's try that. Right? That might be better. Maybe try hashtag Kehlani YouTube and ask me questions there because these let me show you how fast these comments are going. Let me show you how the fuck fast these comments are going. I don't know if you can see that. Look at this shit. How am I supposed to read that? That's insane. That's crazy. Okay, so the album dropped last night. We are number 1 on Apple Music. We are number 1 on iTunes, I think, still, which is insane because I have never been number 1 on anything except for the R&B charts. So this is a huge deal. This is a first for me, and I feel like I'm sharing. I made this album with people that I've been working with side and now on the music side, and then some new people that I've always wanted to work with. So I'm just excited, and I feel like we got a big team win, and these comments are literally freaking me out. Okay, I paused it. Okay. Oh no, and they're back. Press on it to go slow. Okay, I just had to stop it because I don't think I can even go slow, but it is. You can put it in slow mode, they said. You can put it in slow mode. Toggle time. Nope, I can't. I don't even want to touch it. So I'm going to check Twitter now, and I'm going to check the hashtag Kehlani YouTube.
I have some questions.
Okay, ask me some questions.
Okay, what's your favorite track on the album?
My favorite track on the album is the James Blake song, but I have multiple tracks. David, I can hear you loud as shit, boy. I love the James Blake track. I feel like it just takes me to a whole nother planet. Beyond that, I also love Open Passionate. I love So Connected. It says my connection is unstable. Please wait while they reconnect. Can you guys still see me? Maybe. How do you can you still see me? So the inspiration behind Serial Lover was kind of like being a serial lover and just like allowing yourself to fall multiple times over and over again and not feeling bad about it, but just kind of like making your own rules with it. I think that a lot of us have experienced getting a relationship and trying to like figure out what fits you and what's best for you and what works. And that means you have to troubleshoot and try a couple times. And that's just kind of what that meant for me. So
what songs are you most excited about to perform?
The songs I'm most excited about to perform, I can't wait to dance again. So I can't wait to perform Can I can't wait to perform Water. I can't wait to perform Open Passionate. Honestly, that change is going to be epic. Is our dog outside the garage?
Yeah.
Go get him. You got to go the other way. And I'm really excited to perform f&mu. I think that's going to be super fun. Let me start these comments again and then okay, stop it. Let me see more questions. Kehlani YouTube. Where did you have these questions, Sierra?
From
Okay.
From my text message, but I can read them off there too.
Yeah. Let me see. What would you say separates the project from my other projects? I think the biggest difference is that I've very much focused on not making pop music. I think on Sweet Sexy Savage, there was quite a lot of pop songs. That's just where I was at with it at the time. And this one, I really wanted to zone in and like make an R&B project. And I just wanted to be really mature, and I wanted it to tell a story and be concise. I wanted it to be in one world. So some of the criticism that I've seen, if there has been criticism, has either been there's not enough up-tempo songs, which I was telling kind of a more melancholy story. So it wasn't really time for the up-tempo songs, in my opinion, for this album. Like, I don't think you would. Some of my favorite albums don't have the most up-tempo songs, and that's because that was the purpose of the story that the artist was trying to tell. And this was kind of like the story that I was trying to tell with this. I mean, to me, the cover even gives the insinuation that it's going to be a moodier, more melancholy album. And I'm sure when I get to another place in life where it's a more upbeat, kind of up lighthearted time in life, then like there'll be more up-tempo songs, and that'll be where I'm at with it. So
how long were you working on this album for, and any cool stories that you could share about making it?
I've been working on this album for like a year, but it just became this album in the last like 2 or 3 months. It was like 3 other albums, and I went through this process. Like, I'm learning this one, and I'm attaching myself to this album and working my way through it. And then like I go through something else that's like I have to write about that now. So now I have to like transfer over, and now it's this album, and then it became this album after I went through a relationship that was very rocky. Any cool stories about while I was making it? Oh yeah, actually, so Big Shiz, who is Brandy's vocal producer, rest in peace, rest in love. I sought him out. I was like, yo, like, I really would like the person that was like, he's not just Brandy's vocal producer, but he's like a big vocal producer of the 90s and the 2000s. And I like sought him out, like, yo, I'm dying to have you vocal produce my album because I really want to nail, my vocals. And he ended up like booking his flights. Like, he was like, I'm about to come out there. I'm about to be out there really soon. And he passed away a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before he was supposed to come out and finish my album with me. I just want to, shout out more so the people that were close to him that lost him. That was a really, really big loss. And I actually ended up meeting Brandy and working on a song with her for her project the night that it happened. So I was like on my way, and I found out the news, and then I got there, and just to see her stand strong and like work through that, loss was very crazy to me. And thank goodness I had Elijah Blake, who vocal produced all of While We Wait, to like kind of work through that with, and he was incredible. Him and Ombre really just like made it what it was. So
which song was the most fun to make, and which one took the longest and was the hardest?
The funnest song to make was definitely Water. Like, we was definitely in the studio, like bouncing around. Like, Ombre and Destin came with this like really cool like beginner of starting of a first verse and a hook, and they was like, we got this crazy idea, and like I deconstructed it and I rewrote a lot of the first verse, and then we like kept the hook, and then we sat down and was like, now how wow can we get? in this second verse. And we're just like firing off in the studio. Like, and I remember being like, Dick Drop Off. I thought Dick Drop Off was hilarious. It was just so fun. And like all of us was walking around doing like TikTok dances in the studio. So that one was super fun because I got to make it with my friends. What song took the longest? God, I gotta look at the track list. Let me pull it up. What song took the longest to make? Let's see. I would say all of them were pretty fast. I don't know. Maybe Everybody Business, just because it was a message that I like was super passionate about getting across and talking about. And I already came into the studio that day with the idea. I was sitting on the floor with Trinidad James and Destin, my little brother, who's an incredible writer. He actually wrote Passionate. And I kept forcing Destin to come to the studio. So what y'all need to do is go get on Destin's head and tell him to drop more music because he's an incredible artist. And I kept dragging him to the studio like, Destin, like you could be an incredible songwriter. Like we've been brother and sister for the past like 6 years. Like, and I know what you're capable of. Like, please just come to the studio. And Destiny used to sit in the corner and be like, I don't want to say nothing. Like, I don't have nothing to say. The song is fine how it is. And I was like, you don't understand. The minute you tell yourself, like, I'm not afraid anymore. And I don't think what I'm saying is dumb. And you realize there's no dumb ideas in the studio. You just kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And he stepped out of his comfort zone. He was able to like really make an incredible part and a very important key part to my album. And it's like his first like major writing credit is super important. I kept just being like, bro, and this year, like you have writing credit on like a major album. Like you can walk into rooms and be like, I wrote on the Kehlani project, like what's up, throw me in a room. So I don't know why I went on this tangent, but I think I was talking about Everybody Business and I just started being like super geeked up about Destin. Go stream Destin Conrad, go stream Ombre, my favorites, period. But I was sitting in a room and I was just so picky about everything I was writing down. I kept writing and erasing because all I had in my phone was I ain't never been a half-ass lover. And I wanted to expand on that because I had watched all these conversations about myself occurring on the internet about my relationship at the time and everybody just dissecting it. And I was like, how cool would it be to dissect the dissection? You know what I mean? But even more so address the person that I'm with or the people that are romantically introduced to my life. Like, hey, just so you know, this is what you're going to do with. Like, this is where I'm at with it. This is this is the conversation around me. Are you strong enough to handle that and see through that and decide to get to know me for yourself versus like listening to what everybody has to say about me, which is like a big deal to me because a lot of people have a lot of things to say about me and they don't know me. So, and we're in the generation of someone can say one thing about you on the internet. And if people who already dislike you or have some type of disdain towards you hear that thing, they will take it and run with it with no proof, with no explanation, with no regard for your humanity and just be like, yeah, matter of fact, I already don't like her. Let's spread that rumor that she's da-da-da-da. Or let's perpetuate and blow up this rumor already that's out that she's da-da-da-da-da. And it takes a lot to kind of like hear through that. So when writing the song, I was just like very picky about what I wanted to say. So that took the longest. And the hardest song to make was Lexi's outro because it was just emotionally hard. And we just wanted to make sure we honored her and her family in the right way. So we were just making sure that like we was with her. Her family was involved every step of the way of getting the verse. Like we got the verse from her engineer that she worked with every single day back home. And we got different options. And I just wanted something that left her on this high note of being the very triumphant, like overcoming person that she is. And not on a sad note that was just symbolic of her passing. I want it to be more symbolic of her entire journey as a young woman, not just, like associated with her passing. And that was hard to do because we just had to sit in the studio and get it right and do it over and over and over again. And I helped deconstruct like the beat and I sat there and took the sounds out and put them back in. And it was just hard, but I'm really glad that we did it. And the whole album is dedicated to her. I'll be dropping my dedication letter soon and the thank you soon on my Instagram. I just wanted the album to breathe a little bit, but yeah. That was a long-winded answer.
Is it weird doing everything quarantine style? I love your album and all the work that you've put out.
Thank you. It's not weird, it's just new. I've never done this before. I've never edited a music video. I never even looked at the music video editing software. Want to come pop in and say hi, Bree? Yeah, matter of fact, let's do some questions about
Hey y'all.
Are you down?
Yeah, I guess.
If you're not, you can always go get ready and then come back. It's up to you. I'm gonna be on here for about 45 minutes and I'm only been on for 15. So if you want to come back and we do just a straight like Honey Shot Productions. Okay, so if y'all don't know, Bree is my incredible photographer / co-founder of Honey Shot Productions / videographer / co-director / co-editor. So when she comes back after, doing whatever she wants to do, like, I don't know, I think she want to put some eyelashes on or something. We're going to talk about all the videos and all the album cover and the promo shots and all that kind of stuff, because that's really an interesting story.
Was the Jhené feature originally in your plans for Change Your Life?
No, the Jhené feature was not in my plans. The song was just 2 verses. It was pretty short. I had teased the song at the end of the All Me video. And then me and Jhené had gotten like closer, like towards my album release. I view her like someone I can go look up to for advice, someone I can look to as someone who's navigated the public space for a while. People always do this weird comparison thing with me and Jhené, but I have respect for her in a looking up kind of light because she came out before me. She kind of paved a way for girls like me to exist in the space that I exist in. That cool, like West Side, like California chill, like just girl to come in and like make R&B that wasn't just love songs, but were songs about internal struggles and songs about self-realizations. And I don't know, I pay homage to her, mentally all the time, just because, you got to pay respect to people that came before you. So big shout out Jhené. It was an honor for me to have her on there. And she actually was like, yo, if you have anything on your album, like I'd love to hop on something. And I was like, girl, I thought you'd never ask. I have the perfect song that has an open verse, or that I can open a verse up on. And she sent it back super quick. And I love that she's like a perfectionist because she wanted to make sure she got the verse right. She like did it twice. And I just know the first version was probably just as fire too. And she sent it to me and it was like, we got the verse in like the day before the album came out, which was super epic. And she's someone that I hit up for advice frequently. So I'm just honored. And it wasn't in the plans, but I'm glad it happened because people have been waiting for stuff from us for a long time.
Do you plan on making other videos? If so, any plans for new choreography?
Yeah, we're planning to do as many videos as possible. I think that the benefit to it being, first of all, I need you guys to understand that it's just me and Bree and a camera and a computer. Like any extra, we went out and purchased, we bought a drone, and I'm telling you, like, we're going to talk about this when Bree comes back. But like Bree was up at 7 a.m. outside, like running from the garage with how to work a camera drone on YouTube and running outside with the drone, like running back and forth, like, okay, I do this. Okay, I do this. Now read this. Now read this. And just, it's crazy. It's crazy. So the benefit on the flip side of it being hard and very new and like trippy is that we get to do as many as we want because it's really just us. So we're doing them one by one. Like the one that we just finished, we just shot on my birthday. And have been editing it and sending it to the colorist and sending it to the other editor who like added cool special effects. Shout out Sophia. We're gonna do them as we go, and we definitely got more because we want to do as many as possible.
How did you come up with the concept of the album cover?
I'm gonna talk about that when Bree comes back because everybody's kind of interpretation of it still fits the main theme, but I want to dissect it more when she's here so then we can talk about how we actually shot it and like what went into shooting it.
Visuals for Water, and what does water mean to you?
We definitely going to shoot a video to Water. I think that's actually one of the ones that is coming next. Water to me was just like this flexy. It's the part of the story where things were really good. Like flexy, I'm having good sex. Like the energy is top tier. Like It's fun. It's up there. It's upbeat, and that was a key part of the story because I know that a lot of people wanted to like dance and jam out and have fun with the album. So that's like one of the funner ones before it gets all serious and melancholy, I guess.
What led you to release an album in full quarantine? Do you know how much this has saved people?
Oh, well, I mean, give yourself some credit because I always say this to people who approach me with the like, you saved me or like you saved my life. I'm like, no, you and God decided to, move forward and change and save your lives. But I'm glad that you felt like what I did could be some type of aid or some type of soundtrack to your self healing or your self keep it going momentum. I think that's the word. But round of applause for yourself, whoever said that. Um, the album wasn't supposed to come out. The album got pushed back and I had no set date. It was like, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when it's going to come out. We don't know like what we're going to do with this. And I was like, yo, like, I mean, it became from my label really caring about the project. They were like, we're so proud of it and we're so proud of you that we want to give it like the proper support. And the proper support includes you being able to be outside and doing like a press run and like your billboards and like all these incredible things that I was able to have for like my last projects. And I got and like this, everyone was super impressed by it and just happy with it. Just happy with the response. And they were kind of just like, yeah, if you want to take
Bay Area.
It feels incredible. I'm just happy that people care and that people believe in me. And if you're from Oakland, you know it can be a very bucket-esque type of situation. But that kind of happens with any city. Like they want you to make it until you make it, and then things change. So I'm just glad that I still have as much support as I do from home, right now that I did when I first came out, even more, pretty much. So.
As a fan, that's partly why I love you and your music. I feel I can relate because we are the same age. And though we only see a small part of you, I love what we see. How do you handle the criticism you get from non-fans about how open you are?
I think that it's for me and my fans, or it's for who it's for. I mean, oh, they can't see me. Apparently it went out, and that's why a lot of people are leaving because you can't see me. Oh, hope you can see me again because they're going back up. What was the question?
Sorry.
Oh, how do I respond to non-fans about being so open? I mean, it's really for me. I think that one thing people don't realize is that I prioritize my joy. And in a way, like the biggest way I do that is allowing myself to do things that really make me happy. And the things that really make me happy are doing things that I still was able to do before I got a bunch of followers and a bunch of listeners. And that was things like going to the grocery store bummy, or like walking to a coffee shop, or like walking the dog in like a populated neighborhood or the dog park, or, now being able to take my daughter to the park or going on dates. So in a lot of those situations, I realize that I'm subjected to like people kind of catching me places and it being like a situation. So the reason that I put myself out there so much is so you guys can know I'm not ashamed of anything. And I also don't want anybody to control my narrative, if that makes sense. Like if I want to go on a date, chances are I'd rather just be in a public relationship and not have to worry about people extorting me or sending my stuff to blogs, because that has happened a couple of times. A couple of my relationships were never meant to be public, but they ended up becoming public because someone caught us while we were intending to be private, but we wanted to do something regular, like go to the movies or like go to the grocery store. So in turn, I found it was easier for me to just be like, all right, here's where I'm at with it. Here's what I'm doing. Here's who it is. Like, let me just figure it out. So no blog breaks my news and twists it up, or like calls it a publicity stunt, or like no fans twist it up and it becomes this big thing that's bigger than it is. And here's just what it is, because I want to be able to go to the movies.
Were there any particular musical influences for this album?
I listen to Brandy a lot. just in general, because I feel like backgrounds are a lost art form in music, like in R&B music, because even while working on the project, I had producers tell me like, we should just leave it just how this is. We should just leave it just. I had coffee before this. I'm feeling a little spastic. But yeah, just the top line on it. And I was like, nah, like backgrounds are something that's really important to me. I grew up and went to an art school, middle school, through half of high school. Being in a choir was my favorite thing. Learning harmonies, learning 4-part harmonies. I was hard time singing high because I'm so used to singing low. I'm rambling, but Brandy was a big influence vocally, writing wise. Drake, I think it has an incredible way of writing about emotions that we all experience, but from this perspective that kind of like is really it's kind of accountable and also just like daring and fun and like, you know, sexy. There's a lot of people. I don't know how many to get into, but yeah.
What's your favorite production on the album, and what was your favorite vocal performance?
My favorite production is Hate the Club. Jahan Sweet ate it up. Okay, that's my brother. He killed it. Masego on the damn saxophone was like the perfect addition. We came in, it was just like run through the whole song and do whatever you want, and we'll keep whatever. And I ended up keeping like most of it because I just didn't know what to take away. It was so perfect. Vocally, I feel like Hate the Club might also be one of the funnest ones because the backgrounds were so fun to do with Elijah. Give All That Shit Up was really fun vocally too. Coltrane and Raj, who I wrote it with, just made that session so beautiful. And it was like a really intense, like turn all the lights off and sing it with the candles lit type of vibe. It was dope.
What is the lessons you've learned from making this album?
The lessons I learned is that you kind of have to just listen to yourself. There was moments where people told me what kind of music I should have been making during this time, or what music kind of needed to come next in my career or next in my journey. And like, you need to come out with some pop music or focus on some hits, or even like give us a TikTok song. And as much as I love that, I can't see myself purposely making a TikTok oriented song. I would love if a song naturally blew up on TikTok, because that is kind of where the world is headed. Like, that's a big platform for songs. But I listened to myself. I made the music I wanted to make. I made music that impressed me. And I really took my time with it as far as like perfecting it. Like, I went back and I re-recorded everything, and I recut some songs 3 times. And I felt proud of myself. So, Bree, are you in here?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Bree, come sit down.
Okay, so this is what a question's gonna be. It said, what was the process like when making your own quarantine style music video?
Hey, friends.
And which was your favorite to film and edit?
So first, I'm gonna just introduce Bree. So if you don't know, this is Bree Elise, and Bree has been my photographer since I was like 19. Yeah. And she started just as like my tour photographer and like taking all the cool like day-to-day pictures, but also like these makeshift photo shoots. And then like she has an incredible photography career outside of me, epic photo shoots, magazine stuff. But what I especially thought was really cool was when I asked Bree, like towards the beginning of the quarantine, because either way, she was with me every day in the studio. We had came up with this really epic like storyline for the album cover. Like, shout out Gabe. He also is a part of this. Gabe is my other videographer. All this crazy like visual album that went with it. We had a director from London. We were like running around the studio, we came up with the craziest, sickest shit. It was like a movie. It was insane. And so we were already together every day. And then once kind of, you know, the coronavirus effects started happening, I was like, well, come over so we can at least brainstorm how we're going to do this next. And then she just ended up sticking around because we started doing things every single day. So I really want you guys to just make sure that you give Bree her credit when it comes to this album, because that album cover, which we shot in the backyard, and it was just like Bree getting up and being like, the sun is gonna hit at this time of the day. Like, let's go outside and do this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab this hose. I'm gonna put on these booty shorts. Let's see what it's about. You know what I'm saying? We shot the back cover twice because I think the first time I looked like a floating head because like my head was sitting on like the we had to shoot it twice. It was very funny. And she's so funny to shoot with because I'm over here like trying to make that scared face I'm making on the back cover. And she is cracking me up. She's holding the camera like, you look dumb. Like, look at you. Like, I'm like, okay. But I want to make sure Brie gets her credit because she's a photographer turned new videographer, turned co-director, turned editor. Like, me and this girl sat in this hot-ass garage and edited every video that you're watching.
For hours.
For hours. With my baby, and I watched Brie get up and learn how to work a drone. I watched her sit on YouTube and Google things when there was camera issues that we didn't understand or video editing tricks that we didn't know. I'm talking about like video editing and photography. Would you say it's really different?
Very, very. I give so much respect to like videographers now. Like I didn't know how much went into it. And then not only that, but like on sets, there's so many people. Like when it's actual video shoots, like there's so many people and I never understood why.
And now we're like,
now I'm like, I get it. And I respect every single person that's a part of those video shoots because it's a lot. It's a lot.
And then with us, it's really just been me and Brie and the camera. Like the minute they said you can shoot music videos, I bought a desktop. We came up with the Honey Shot Productions company idea. We got the logo made. We registered the website. And we felt like how cool would it be if everything came from this official production company. And you can always go back and look at the official production company. And one day when we're grown and we've like made movies and directed videos for other people, we can be like, yo, we started this because of a quarantine and a pandemic.
Right.
Like, just me and her.
So a cute little camera.
Like cute, it's like this
it's
big. Adorable. That's
camera.
Our baby. Yeah, we got questions about this.
Not so much right now, but we could come back to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know there's things I want to maybe say more. Oh, if you peep the growth from the first video. First of all, the first video technically was just me and it was toxic and it was like this super blurry, like fucked up, like that was on iMovie and my iPhoto, like photo booth thing. And I was faded. So there's that.
But that was really good.
It was fun. I think the concept was good.
Yeah.
And then Everybody Business, I was like, Brie, I'm about to just try to. I think what's funny is I also had to learn how to do my hair and makeup for all these. Like if you know me, I'm like a tomboy. I can do like some regular shit, but like camera makeup, you can see even the glam progressing in each video. Like I look different in these videos because I'm literally learning that as I go as well. And the videos just get better. Like she learned more tricks. She learned how to work a stabilizer. You should see this girl going around me with this stabilizer. We shot.
That first video wasn't even on the right settings. Like I didn't know what I was doing.
Luckily, it just looked cute and we just put it out there and was like, we hope this worked. Like we hope they can't tell we feel like we messed up. Then Open, how many days in a row we had to shoot that first scene?
Ooh, I think we shot it 3 days in a row, right? We had to wake up at like 6 in the morning.
And get in that hot tub and it was freezing outside, but like I got hot as hell in the hot tub. And the first day I didn't have lashes on. The second day I learned how to do lashes. Like, so we could only use footage from like the second day, but we had shot the whole first day. Like all these problems that we didn't think about that now we know next time, like we're taking notes each time we shoot a video and taking it into the next video. So, you know, each video hopefully gets better and better and better.
Which one's your favorite?
So far right now it's open. Just because of the growth.
Yeah.
Like, I think the quality level of Open is just a whole different quality. But even then, I still liked fucking Makeup because
that one was really good.
Just of the concept of it. And like, we really went to that boy house and like shot in his house and then moved his entire shit around and shot and then came and shot in my house. But, so I have a funny story. Should we tell them about the deer?
Oh, the deer. Oh my God, the deer.
Okay, so the morning we went to go shoot Open. So first of all, I rented this black Ferrari and I drove it out to the mountains so we could shoot this video and simultaneously celebrate my birthday in the mountains. And I had been driving with the top off like every day.
Yep.
And then the day we had to go drive from the mountains to the desert to shoot the orange scene in Open, I had the top on because I had hair and makeup and lashes I didn't want to mess up for the shots. I'm driving 25 miles per hour. slow as shit down this hill. My assistant's behind me with Bree and with my little brother, and I'm not gonna tell you who's behind them yet because this is part of the craziness of the story. I'm driving, and this deer comes out of nowhere and hits the Ferrari. Like, I think gets confused and smacks the Ferrari, and like,
but mind you, it came from like above.
It
flew
jumped
down,
off a mountain. Like it jumped off a mountain.
Like there was
insane.
rocks next to the car. It wasn't just like flat surface. Like
it
was boulders
so
next to
scary,
us.
and it flipped over the front of the car and fell behind us and rolled and like sat there for a second and got up and just walked away. But the craziest part was, if the top was off like how it had been at every other car ride in this car, the deer would have been inside the car. First of all, I probably would have crashed the car. I probably would have passed away. Like, no bullshit. Like, there would have been a huge ass deer inside of a tiny ass Ferrari kicking me. Probably would have made me swerve and crash. Like, it was a very, like, God bless this situation type of moment. Like, we all pulled over and, like, thank God. And beyond that, behind me was my assistant's car. Behind my assistant was fucking wildlife patrol by pure accident, like by pure coincidence. Like, so they're like, you want to pull over? I'm like, yeah, I pull over. And they're like, no, we saw the whole thing. Like, we'll give you our card in case like the rental people like need proof that like the deer hit you. This happens all the time. We're in like wild deer country. Like, I'm like, this is traumatic. People hit deer all the time. These poor deers. Like, I didn't know what to do. And I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And then we have these really crazy pictures of like when you look in the fur, like you look in the,
my gosh,
there's like deer fur stuck in these paint cracks in the Ferrari, and the whole side mirror just banged off. I don't know if you can tell in the open video that one of the side mirrors is completely crushed. That's because of the deer, and there's deer fur
hair
stuck in the car. It was traumatic. It was traumatic. Super. God bless him, little deer.
Right. It was a girl.
Oh, the girl.
Was a girl.
God bless her. I'm sorry, sis.
She ran out.
Did
she was
it,
good,
but like, but
she
you
was
good. You good. You got up. You went away. The wildlife patrol said if they get up and they run away, then they good.
Yeah,
so
she was good.
Plus, I wasn't going fast.
The next question I have is: did you debate putting out any of the tracks, and how many didn't make the cut?
Debated putting out some of the tracks. I almost didn't put out Bad News at first because there was this really epic sample from was it Boys in the Hood?
Oh, in the beginning.
In the beginning, like from the movie, there was this like epic scene, and I was very keen on having that scene in the beginning, like a skit. It was pretty perfect, and I didn't get to use that. And then I just also felt like it was emotional for me to go through. If you don't know the story of my parents, then my parents, you know, is kind of identical to that situation. My pops passed due to a gang-related situation, so I kind of felt my mother's fear while making that song. So yeah, it was emotional for me. Oh, it was from Menace to Society, not Boys in the Hood. I'm getting all my classic Los Angeles movies mixed up.
How many didn't make the cut?
Boy, I had like 50 songs. And my album was also 2 different albums before it was this album. So I have songs from when it was the first album. I have songs from when it was the album before this one. I have this really crazy like interlude from Moses Sumney that I will, you know, hopefully one day be able to use because that shit is gas. But a million of them didn't make the cut.
How do you think Kehlani from 10 years ago would felt if someone told her that she would have a #1 album one day?
She probably wouldn't believe you. I mean, she probably wouldn't believe me if you say someone or me telling her. Yeah. I don't know. She probably wouldn't believe it. I think that one thing that's always been consistent about me is I just been happy to be wherever I'm at. I'm not too huge on like numbers. Like I don't purposely think about it. Like my go-to isn't like, yeah, and I'm gonna drop on this day because I want to get this number. And I think that this album doesn't mean anything if it doesn't reach this success or reach this number or reach this chart. And I think it's funny that this generation of fans, I think, care more than any previous generation about like charts and numbers. Like before, we didn't really have access to charts and numbers too much to where like we were so adamant And I think that that has gotten to the heads of like so many creatives because the general public has become so intensely about charts and numbers that we almost lose how to build a solid, like long lasting, longevity filled, career. And I think that that's what's most important to me is like being consistent, building, growing. A lot of you guys have been with me since I was 16 years old, since my first project when I was 19 years old. And I just hope that I can keep dropping projects, going on tour, like growing. That was ranting too, I think.
Can Bree tell her story, how she became a photo/videographer?
Yeah.
And maybe some advice for beginners?
How I became, honestly, I started because I just wanted money. Like, I was in high school and I was like, I took a photography class. I think it was my sophomore year. But like, it was one of those classes that didn't really teach you anything. It was just like, oh, go take a picture of a flower and turn it in. Like, it was just that, But once I started taking that class, I was like, dang, I could do this for some money, girl. Like, I was talking to my neighbor, and then she was just like, girl, I'm going to do it too. And I'm like, cool, well, I'm going to copy you. And then I got a camera. My dad had a camera, so I took his camera that he never used. And then I just started taking pictures. I started charging people. I started charging people like $50. And then I stopped charging people. And then I just wanted to do it just because I really loved it. And I just loved the editing process. And then after that, I started reaching out to people. Instagram does wonders. I started reaching out to a lot of people with like, bigger followers and just hit them up. If they didn't reply, then they didn't reply. If they did, then they did. And we worked. And then I kind of just grew like that. And then I met Kehlani. That's actually how I met her. Yeah. I DM'd her.
And it got cracking from there. Then we was roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started going on tour together.
This was after you dropped, I think you had just dropped Cloud 19.
You could probably look on YouTube. Okay, so I don't know if they're up there anymore. They might not be there. I think I took all my old Tsunami episodes down. But low key, you made videos pretty early on. Like she did like documentary day-to-day like episodes for me right in the beginning. Like I took her home. Like first of all, I think I just looked many in them, so I took them down because I just looked crazy as hell. But you can find hella old shit where me and her look completely different. People used to call us twins all the time because we had matching septum rings and like long curly black hair.
Right.
But yeah, and then she started coming on tour, and then like I think there was this period of time where she just got really focused and really into like editorial, like actual photo shoots instead of like tour photography because those are different. She wanted to curate her own ideas, so she took a space from that and started doing like focusing on the CRZY magazine stuff, and then we linked back up for like Honey.
It was Honey.
Yeah, we linked back up for Honey, and then ever since then we just been rebuilding and doing all this, and look what she's doing
here.
now
We're doing music videos.
Okay, I gotta look at the hashtag because Sierra walked out to tell me if my acai bowl is here. Kehlani YouTube is trending. Whoa. Will there be a deluxe edition? I would love to, I mean, I'm planning on making a deluxe. I'm going to include some of the SoundCloud stuff, like You Know What's Up. Probably not Valentine's Day, but probably You Know What's Up. I don't know what else. But I would love to have like new features and like remixes. I feel like that would be super dope. So yeah, I would love that.
How does this era relate back to While We Wait, Sweet Sexy Savage, and even as far back as Cloud 19?
I feel like it just shows the growth. It relates back because it relates back to me. And I feel like you can go through my albums and track my love life. At least the things the major events that either really, messed with my heart space or really was heavy on my heart or like really was a big turning point for me emotionally. Yeah, you can hear the growth, and then you can hear at one point. I also think a big thing to note when saying that the album is more melancholy and just different than the others is you got to understand how many things I've gone through. I had a baby. I was in a relationship after having a baby that I thought was just the most beautiful thing and greatest thing ever. And it just ended up not being the case. So that's a big heartbreak. It's also a heartbreak to yourself because you feel like you let yourself down. You went against your better judgment, things like that. So having a baby, the whole issue and big thing that blew up and happened in 2016, like I was still dealing with all the residual effects from that and having like social. If you notice, I hadn't done press in like years. Like I just did my first Breakfast Club interview, yesterday? Yesterday, it came out today, I think. And the first thing a lot of these people are saying when I get on the camera is we finally decided to pop in, because it's not like people weren't hitting me up to do press or to do talk shows or to do big interviews or to do these, even like the late night shows. I've been just terrified for years. I didn't go to any award shows. I mean, I went to probably like one or two. I like the Soul Train Awards. It's very comfortable and it's very like family vibes, like family reunion, cookout vibes. So I love that. But I've been actively avoiding the public as much as possible, like big platform things, for a really long time, to the point where people, I think low-key, got hesitant to invite me because they know we'll just be like, I'm scared, no thank you. Like, I do appreciate it, but I can't, I'm nervous. And I'm just now back to that point where I am super confident and just like ready to face anything coming my way and like feel like I can articulate myself and feel like I'm not terrified and I should stop holding myself back from things. I don't even know how I got to this point of talking about this. But yeah, that's all.
Did Bree go into the neighbor's yard to shoot the back cover?
We did not.
No, we have two brick walls on either side of the house. So the one brick wall from the front cover, also where we've been taking those Polaroids every day. Then there's one on the other side of my house that actually have this weird pattern.
Like you can see through the top of the fence. You can
see through the top of it. So Bree had to like Photoshop the gate to make it look like it matched. And then we sent it over to this really dope kid in South Africa who actually made the crazy stuff on the back covers. That is not the tower from 9/11. How fucking insensitive and horrible would that be? What? And what would be the significance? That's so awful. I seen that everywhere. They was like, girl, can you believe she used the 9/11 towers? I was like, yeah. Can you believe I used that? Since apparently you would tell me. That's crazy.
What video software and camera do you use?
We use Premiere Pro.
I don't know what the camera is.
And the camera is EOS R. Mirrorless.
Boom.
Boom.
Why did you choose the lines you did to put on the back of your merch?
I just thought they were standout song lyrics, and my designers, Sticks and Danny does Kids of Immigrants, and Sticks has always done all my graphic design since the jump, since literally my second song ever in life on SoundCloud. And they came together and came up with some pretty cool shit. So
you're such a beautiful, talented human being, and when I see you, the first words that come to mind is perfection. Do you still have insecurities despite being praised by so many people? And what are they?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 25 years old, and to say that things don't affect me is crazy. I mean, if you think of kind of the infrastructure of fame and being like a famous artist, like everything is kind of built upon criticism. Just how certain musical decisions, like certain way people look in music videos, certain sides of ourselves we have to play more into based upon like the shift of culture. Damn, why am I forgetting the question?
Do you have insecurity?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. It's just natural. It's super natural. I also have just a lot of trauma related to the internet, a lot of PTSD from like people going in on me. And sometimes it's super hard to just like ignore shit. It's the hardest shit because I just want to be like, man, like, one, you have to dislike me already to like run with lies or like run with drama or like run with accusations when they pop up. And then two, like, why do you dislike me? You don't know me. I think sometimes I get disheartened because it feels like if you run with that, you don't ever get the opportunity or take the opportunity to get to know me. But then I have to remember kind of like, this is just life. Like on the flip side, I'm super blessed. Like the people that do know me really, my heart really, really love me in a different way. The love is really different. You guys care if I get a haircut. Y'all care about my friends. Y'all tell me y'all hope my grandma's doing well. Like it's a different kind of love. So it super drowns out the hate, and I'm blessed, and I just have to focus on that.
What inspired you to write Can You Blame Me? And is there gonna be a deluxe album?
Oh, I already answered the deluxe question. No, you good. You good. Can You Blame Me? Me and Nisha was just in the studio, and it was kind of like where I was at with it in a moment, like where she was at with it too. Both probably kind of being in the middle situation between things being good and bad, and just being like, can you blame me? Like, this is where I'm at with it. It's a little toxic, but like, it's unrealistic to think that when people break up or when something bad happens, immediately the love ends. I think people have that fucked up when it comes to relationships. Is like, when something bad happens, you don't immediately hate that person. You don't immediately, like, all the feelings that you just felt throughout the entire relationship, they don't just disappear. So you have to work through those things. You have to, with yourself, you have to feel those things out. So it's just that honesty about like, I'm not fucking with what's going on, but can you blame me like that? I'm still in love with you no matter what, because that didn't just change because something happened. Like, I'm hurt, but like, love doesn't just disappear. But I think that we are at 53 minutes and I was supposed to do 45. So I went a little extra. And I want to say thank you for joining YouTube Live today. Thank you for participating. Thank you for these really, really good questions. I hope you felt like you got to know me a little bit. I just want to say thank you, real shit, for giving me my first #1 album. It's emotional because, you know, my friend that passed away on the 1st of this year is the outro on the album. Shout out to Lexi Ali J. I'm going to end on this note. To me, any win that I get from this album is a win for her. It's a win for her family. What I want you to do when you leave this live is not only stream and run up my album, because that goes to her as well, but go stream and run up her albums and her mixtapes. Go stream and run up China's albums and mixtapes. Another really great friend of mine that passed very, very, very recently. And just give people their flowers while they can smell them. Whether that's your friends, big up your friends, big up your family members, big up local artists. I don't know if you realize how much of an impact you can have on your local heroes and your local artists. It's literally our responsibility to big up them and to get them, you know, to a place that they want to be. And that's pretty much it. Just please just go stream their shit and share their shit. And I'm really grateful for all the love on my album because I worked hard on it. So love you guys dearly. Talk soon.